talk about Howard Lutnick ragging on Canada, and then let's do a couple of clips from the Pagan podcast and then the Daily Cringe, Efron, if that works. Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Commerce Secretary, speaks with CBS on the ongoing trade dispute with Canada. And he's got some opinions on us, and he's not alone, but the mainstream media doesn't like to point out the other side of this because they just are so anti-American in this country.
Elbows up.
Canada, one of the big ones. Their prime minister said this past week there's not a lot of evidence they can get a trade deal with the U.S. that avoids tariffs. Is your message to Canada, Mr. Secretary, that no matter what they offer at the negotiating table, free trade's gone, there will be a tariff in place?
No, see, that's silly. We have a plan called USMCA, U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement. Virtually 75% of all goods coming from Mexico and Canada already come in tariff-free. The president said, look, unless you stop this fentanyl and close the border, we're just going to keep tariffs on the other 25%. And that's what he has on. So don't be confused about it. The president understands that we need to open the market. Canada is not open to us. They need to open their market. Unless they're willing to open their market, they're going to pay a tariff. That's a simple message the president has. It's fair trade. It's reciprocal trade. Why should we have our country be wide open while theirs is closed? This is an 80-year wrong that President Trump is trying to fix, and our businesses are going to really, really enjoy it. I think the president's going to open between $300 and $400 billion of opportunity for Americans. That's 1.5%, up to 1.5% GDP growth, because the president's going to open all these markets up. Yeah. You saw it with Vietnam. You saw it with Indonesia. You're going to watch all these other countries decide if they want to do business with America. Let's just open our market up to America. That's opportunity that President Trump is bringing.
Well, okay, that's probably good. David, I think we all know what he's talking about there, right? Supply management.
100%. And by the way, before we get into that, Sheila, can we come up with a new name for USMCA? Every time I hear that, I almost expect to see a video depicting a cowboy, an Indian, a biker, and a construction worker doing a disco dance. But anyway, no, you're right.
I think it's easier to say than the Canadian version of it. It's like CUSMA or something. Like I think the US version just rolls off the tongue a little better.
Yeah, but no, you're right. And we know that supply management in Canada is a political third rail. No political party except the PPC will talk about tampering with supply management. Well, guess what? We don't have cards to play. If supply management is not going to be eliminated, and of course, this is the policy that affects dairy, eggs, turkey, and chicken, we're going to have to acquiesce, Sheila. You can call Donald Trump a master negotiator, all about the art of the deal. You can call him a bully. It's irrelevant. He has the cards. He is the president of a country that is more than 10 times the size of Canada. The Carney Liberals can fantasize about opening up new markets in Europe and Asia and abroad.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we've heard this like forever and a day. We're going to have to get to the table, and they're going to have to make concessions. Maybe there's some way of the Carney Liberals saving face, that not eliminating supply management, but pretty much gouging it to the president's whims. And you know what? At the end of the day, Sheila, as a Canadian who looks at the prices of those four commodities compared to, I mean, you've made the comparison of the Costco in Washington State. They call the Canadian shoppers the red plague, I think, because they flock down there to buy those commodities. Well, then, isn't that getting rid of a tariff on Canadian consumers when you think about it?
Right. And to be clear, this Soviet-style price-fixing scheme in supply management, and don't come at me. Don't say I'm anti-farmer. I'm a farmer, okay? But the beef producers are figuring out how to get the other part of the cow to market just fine without government intervention. But the UK has walked away from the CETA trade deal with Canada because of supply management. So that deal has yet to be ratified. I think it was negotiated back in 2018. Supply management's the holdup. The UK, when they went to the G7, signed their trade deal that they had previously negotiated with the Americans. So it's not like the UK is averse to getting trade deals done with unfriendly types like the Americans. Supply management is the problem with all these trade deals. And it is the reason we're getting our butts kicked with tariffs from the Americans. There's a way to dismantle this. Other countries have done it. We need to start because other industries are being crushed by it.
Oh, and Sheila, when it comes to those tariffs, forget about 10, 25, 35, 50% tariffs. With certain dairy commodities, for a U.S. producer to bring their product to market here in Canada, how about 292% tariff? Almost 300% tariff. So I think they have a strong hand when it comes to the fairness case, Sheila.
For sure they do.